Hello kids, it's me again, back with another video. So, a little while ago, I put a poll on my community tab asking you guys if you would rather see a video of me doing a tier list of a bunch of big bands that I have seen in the past, or a review of some smaller local bands that I have seen here in Jackson. And the votes were in, the votes have been counted and recounted and counted as many times as humanly possible, and you guys wanted me to do a tier list of some of the big bands that I've seen. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've made this tier list that we're about to see back in November, but I'm only just now getting around to doing this video because, what can I say? I'm a busy lady. There are a few tiers that I have. For this tier list, we have, let's make a little count. 20 bands that I've seen in various concerts that I've been to since about 2017. I went to my first concert when I was a senior in high school in 2017. It was a very magical experience, and I've been going to them semi-regularly since about 2021 or 2022, something like that. Since that time, I have seen about 20 bands live. Now, I'm counting openers and headliners because, I mean, you know, if I've seen them, they go on the list. I'm not gonna lie, for the first couple, it's gonna be a while since I've seen them, and I'm not gonna have the best memory of how it was to actually see them. So with that in mind, for the rest of them, I think I have a better memory, or I guess thought in my head for how I perceive them. But I'm not gonna lie, for these first two, I'm just gonna have to kind of phone it in because, I mean, don't tell me how many years ago 2017 was, but it was definitely more than one. So I'm gonna have to try to remember. And also, something I should say, it's not like I'm not gonna do the local band video. I still do really want to do it, but you guys wanted to see this one first, so we're doing this one first. Let's get into the tiers. So, for the tippity top, the best of the best, I have goated must see. If the band that is in this tier is coming anywhere near you, I implore you to see them because you will have a good time. You're gonna want to see them more than once, honestly. The tier below that we have is highly enjoyable. I enjoyed seeing them. Would I see them again? Sure, I would, but I wouldn't, kind of go out of my way to do so, Middle of the road, we have good bands that were good. I kind of, don't really have any major thoughts for or against them. They were just kind of, not just fine, but, they were good. Very middle of the road. Underneath that, we have, I guess, bands that were just kind of okay and not a whole lot of emotions about them. Under that, we have Once Was Enough. I mean, says it all right there. I saw them one time. I am not going to be making any moves to see them again. And underneath that, we have Unfortunately Forgettable, bands where, I'm not gonna lie, I have just unfortunately forgotten their entire existence. And just so you know, we are gonna have bands that go in every single one of these tiers, so everything is going to be represented. I'm also going to be going in chronological order from the first concert that I ever saw to the most recent. And also, if you are wondering about the genre of the bands, I will say metal and metalcore and metal adjacent bands are definitely, I guess, overrepresented in this tier list because that's the kind of music I like, and those are the kind of shows that I go to. So when I made this, I wasn't planning on going to any more shows. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be scheduled for 2024, so I didn't really know yet. But I will say, I do have at least one new concert planned, new bands that I've never seen. Well, okay, one of them I have seen before, but new bands, that I haven't seen before coming up in May. However, I didn't want to push this back to May because that would be a really long time. It's February right now, in case I didn't say that. I mean, you can look at the date this was uploaded, but it would be a while until that show happens, so I didn't want to wait that long. Let's start off with the first ever concert that I have been to. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was, I believe, April 7th, 2017. It was a Friday. I got checked out of school early to go to Birmingham to see the Death of a Bachelor tour featuring Panic at the Disco, which RIP Panic at the Disco, MisterWives, and Saint Motel were the openers. So I can't remember the exact order in which they came on, and these aren't, I don't think, going to be listed in the exact order they came on. Also, I should say, a lot of these bands that I have on here I have seen more than once. Well, actually, I don't know if it would be a lot, but there are definitely some bands on here that I have seen more than once. So I should point that out as well, because some concerts that I've gone to have had the same couple of bands as support. Saint Motel, I'm not gonna lie, Saint Motel and MisterWives. I'm gonna try to think back. I think they were okay. They're kind of like from what I remember, kind of a more indie band, but I'm not gonna lie, you're going unfortunately straight into unfortunately forgettable. It is unfortunate that they are forgettable. I mean, they're good. When I saw them, I remember being entertained, but aside from that, they didn't really leave much of an impression. Next up will be MisterWives. Now, I will say this. I think, from what I remember, MisterWives had a lot more energy, kind of, brought a lot more to the table than Saint Motel. But, again, it's been so long. I don't even know if the lineup in this picture is like the current lineup or the lineup that was, the band when I even saw them. Because, I mean, that's how long it's been. Honestly, okay, they're not going to be going into Unfortunately Forgettable. They're going to be going in I guess, because they brought a little bit more to the table. But again, it's another indie kind of band, and I'm not really super into indie music, so I wouldn't exactly... Maybe I'll put them in Once Was Enough. But I feel like, honestly, this is shady, but I'm reserving Once Is Enough for at least one specific band, so I'll leave MisterWives in I guess. So, next up is the headliner for the Death of a Bachelor tour, Panic at the Disco. I can, I think, confidently say that I was able to see Panic at the Disco before they entered their flop era. I like Death of a Bachelor. Have I listened to it in like 2 years? No, but it was an enjoyable album. I'll give them that. As someone who is a Fever You Can't Sweat Out stan, anything removed from that is kind of like not enough for me, unfortunately. But, Panic at the Disco, which, I mean, at that point, it really was just Brendan Urie and like his touring band. Honestly, it was a great performance, a lot of energy, a lot of fun, a really great lineup. I especially appreciated the mashup of songs from Fever You Can't Sweat Out. It was fun to see. I'm gonna put them in good, I will never be able to see Panic at the Disco live and in concert ever again unless they get back together, which I honestly highly doubt. But, it was nice while it lasted. It ran its course. It served its purpose. And now it's gone. So not a lot of bands can say that they had a decent run, before entering their flop era. So the next band is a band that I have seen, okay, I'm going to try to remember, I think 3 times, and they are Erra. They are natives of Birmingham. Finally, we get something good out of Alabama. The first time that I saw them was on tour with Beartooth for their Below tour, and I saw them first in New Orleans, and then I saw them in Birmingham for the first stop of their Pull from the Ghost tour. Magical night. I only have one video from that night, and I regret that so much because of some other bands that I'm about to talk about. I really wish I had more videos to revisit it, but I don't, and I feel bad about it. And I saw them for the 3rd time supporting Bad Omens in Memphis, Tennessee. And honestly, okay, listen, I love Erra's music. I mean, you can't see it, but I have one of their vinyls on my wall. If you get on the vinyl wall, you are highly appreciated in my eyes. I love Erra's music so much. I love seeing them live. They have a new album coming out. There has been no tour announced yet, but I am, anticipating that they will have another album or another tour coming out to support that album. And if they're in Birmingham, I'm gonna have to go. I'm just gonna have to go again. I mean, it was amazing the first time. I'm sure it'll be amazing the second time. I'm going to... Okay, the question here though is, would I put them in goated must-see? Are they? Yes, they are a must-see. What am I talking about? They're going in the goated tier. Because honestly, they are. They put on a great show. Lots of energy. Great energy from JT, the unclean vocalist. But you will always see him wearing a vest. Like one of those vests with a bunch of pockets in it, like a fisher's vest, but it's black. What is he keeping in there? His secrets? I would like to know. Anyways, yes, I'll put them in goated must-see. If they are in your area, you gotta see them. They just have a great body of work, and I love seeing them live. Next, The Devil Wears Prada. This is a band that definitely surprised me, not in the way that I expected them to be bad or anything. That's not what I mean. I have been listening to The Devil Wears Prada's music since high school, I'm sure a lot of people have. And I always like their music, but I was never chomping at the bit to try to see them live in person. But I saw them for the first time, again on the Below tour, supporting Beartooth. And I was like, oh my goodness, these folks can put on a show. I'm like, the energy, the vibes, just, and it really helps that their music is great as well, because after that, I made it a point to where the next time I would be able to see them, I have to go see them. And I have seen them. Have I seen them 3 times? I saw them once on the Below tour. I saw them another time on my birthday 2 years ago. And I have a little artifact. I'm gonna go get it. So I think what I have in my hands right now will go down as probably my most favorite birthday gift that I've ever received, even though it wasn't really a birthday gift. I have a guitar pick that was given to me by Jeremy from The Devil Wears Prada. It was honestly such a wild show, by the way, because the venue that I saw them in Memphis, it's called Growlers. If you've ever been there, you'll know it's a very small room. Like, it's really small, and I somehow managed to get manhandled essentially to the front. And where I was standing, I was basically leaned up against a speaker, like eye level with Jeremy's like guitar essentially. And eventually, like sometime during the set, he just like bent down and like handed me this guitar pick, and I still have it. It's been sitting on my dresser this whole time. It's even, you can't really tell, but it's a little bit chipped at the end. And it's a basic guitar pick. There's nothing really special about it, but this is incredibly special to me because, it is a birthday that I unfortunately spent alone, but it will go down as probably one of my favorite birthdays that I've ever had. I turned 23 that day, and I had an experience that I will never forget. So for that reason, if you are able to see The Devil Wears Prada, run, do not walk. You need to go see them. They are goated. Next up is Silverstein, the GOATs, the OGs Silverstein. I, of course, again, have been aware of their music since high school, and I saw them supporting Beartooth on the Below tour. And, I am nostalgic for a lot of their music. I am not gonna lie, I don't have as strong feelings about them as some of the other bands on this list. However, I will say, it is definitely a magical experience during My Heroine where the entire band stops playing and the entire theater that I was in was just singing along to the song that we all know. And that was a really special experience for me. I'm not gonna lie. But aside from that, I appreciate Silverstein and their music. I, respect their standing in the scene. And I'm gonna put them in highly enjoyable because they were highly enjoyable. I liked it. If they came near me again, I would see them. I would consider it. I would seriously consider it. I don't know about a headliner. If they were supporting someone, then definitely, but a headliner, I would have to think about it. Next up is Beartooth, a band that I had seen for the first time during the Below tour. Again, another band that I've been aware of since high school. I had liked, well, of course, Attack Attack was amazing. All 3 of their albums. Their third album did not get that many listens for me, even though I would consider Attack Attack's This Is War to be like a proto Beartooth, just as far as sound goes. I really like a lot of their older stuff. It does have a special place in my heart. And, I did enjoy seeing Beartooth perform. Again, they don't really have as high of emotions as some of the other bands on this list, but I'm gonna put them in good. I'm gonna put them firmly in good. So the next band on this list, oh my god, this band really blew me away. I had no idea about them until I saw them live. I hadn't listened to a single minute, a single second of any of their songs until I saw them live in Birmingham for the Pull from the Ghost tour. They were opening for Erra, and I have never been so utterly blown away by a band before. I don't think in my life. Like, Alpha Wolf surprised me. I was shocked, and I'm even more disappointed that I didn't take any videos during that. I don't know why, but during that show I was like, no, I'm gonna be in the moment, I'm gonna enjoy it, no phones, just vibes. And it's like, I regret that now because I want to revisit some of this stuff. So any show that I go to now, I make a point to record at least a little bit of it because I want to revisit it. I want to relive the moment. I am that person that records during concerts, and I do watch it back. So some of us, we're out there, we exist. And I wish I did that for Alpha Wolf. They are actually going on tour. They just recently announced another tour in the United States. They're Australian, I should say. They recently announced another tour in the United States, and they won't be anywhere near me, and I am so disappointed by that because I need to see this band again The it's really sad too. They're not a band that I would like buy the plane ticket for, but I have a visceral bodily need to see this band perform again. So for that reason, I'm putting them in goated must see. This next band that I'm about to mention, they hold a special place in my heart. I would say that this band, Animate, has been, one of my favorite bands for a very long time, again, since high school, and is definitely tied for first place as being my favorite band with Periphery, who I haven't seen live, so they're not on this tier list. So I have a lot of emotions about Animate. I was there when the comma was still in the name, okay? I'm an OG. All right, I was on board before Ben left. The first time that I saw Animate was when they were supporting Erra during the Pull from the Ghost tour. That was really special for me. That was during their Greyview era, and I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of fans of Animate can agree that they have not put out, and they have yet to have a flop era. However, compared with their entire body of work, Greyview is probably one of their weakest albums. There are a lot of strong songs on that album, I'm not gonna lie. Nova especially is one of my favorite album closers of all time. But compared to definitely Heavener and also Everchanger, between Everchanger, Still World, and Heavener, and also The Sun Sleeps, we're not going to forget about her. And honestly, some of their work before Everchanger, I would say that Greyview is like on the weaker side for their discography. But I saw them first during their Greyview era. Honestly, amazing show. Actually, I think the first time that I saw them, they had put out, what is like the second track on their first single from Heavener that, again, I can't remember because my brain is fried. So that was really enjoyable. The second time that I saw them was supporting Bad Omens during their tour, and that was like not right after, but very soon after Heavener came out, and I hadn't even listened to it yet, which is crazy that I waited so long to listen to Heavener, because I mean, that's like basically everybody's album of the year for 2023, but it took me a while to listen to Heavener, and seeing it live was like, what? This is truly something special. It was sad when Ben left, but honestly, if you were around by the time Marcus like first joined on and you watch show recordings from, after, let's see, the first like couple of singles were being released for Greyview, I'm not gonna lie, it was really rough. Marcus's performance was legitimately like really rough, but he's improved so much since he's been part of the band, and honestly, I love his vocals. And I'm glad that he's part of the band, and I love the Marcus era, honestly, just as much as I love the Ben era. So for that reason, I really want to see them again. They were touring again to support Beartooth, but I won't be there because it's in the middle of the week, and I was like, do I want to take off work to see Animate? Yes, and I've talked about this a lot. And by the way, if you want to hear me blab about music a whole lot more, you can listen to my podcast, the Run in My Mouth podcast. Links will be down below. I talk about music so much there, and I've talked about me wanting an Everchanger 10th anniversary tour, honestly, ad nauseum. I will not shut up about it. It's the 10th anniversary year for Everchanger. It came out in 2014. It's 2024. It's time for a 10th anniversary tour, and if there won't be one, I'll be very sad. Will I buy the plane ticket? If I have to fly to Texas, because that's where they're based, if I have to fly to Texas to see the Everchanger 10th anniversary tour, I might. I just might. That's how strongly I feel about seeing that album played in full for its 10th anniversary. I'm not even joking. So, for that reason, I'm putting Animate in goated must see. Next up is a band that truly surprised me again. They are Dying Wish, another band that I had kind of known nothing about before I'd seen them for the first time. I saw them supporting The Devil Wears Prada for their zombie tour that I saw on my birthday. And honestly, not to sound like a lib feminist, but I love a girl-fronted band. I just love a girl-fronted band. There are a lot of local girl-fronted bands here in Jackson, and I love to see them. I will never be disappointed with a girl-fronted band. I'm not gonna lie. And Dying Wish, I don't want to boil them down to just being like a girl-fronted band, but they are a girl-fronted band, and I truly enjoyed seeing them. I honestly still know very little about them as a band or their music, but I really enjoyed them. And I will be seeing them again when I see the Amity Afflictions Let the Ocean Take Me 10th anniversary tour. So it will be good to see them again. And honestly, I'm going to put them in the good category because I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts about them. I did really enjoy seeing them live, and I'm going to see them again. So who knows, once I see them again, they might go up a little bit, but we'll have to see. We'll have to wait until May to find out. So the next band on this list is honestly, again, their music, I would say another kind of in the vein of Dying Wish, in that I had seen them supporting the Devil Wears Prada on the Zombie tour, hadn't really heard them for the first time that night. However, that was probably the wildest a crowd has ever been that I've been at that point, up until that point. I've been in some wild crowds since then, but just first of all, the place was packed, the place was small, and they were also filming a music video there. So people were going kind of insane, and I honestly had to tap out. I had to like swim my way out of like the middle of the room so I wouldn't get freaking throttled. Okay, because I was at risk of being throttled during the did I say who they were? Stray from the Path. I was at risk of being throttled. Honestly though, I know that vibe is like very intense for some people, but I kind of live for that. Even though I was feeling like actively unsafe during that time, it really is a vibe. So for that reason, I'm also gonna put them in good. I don't really have a whole lot of opinions about their performance or their music, but I will say the vibe was definitely interesting in a way that I liked. The next band on this list is Bleed From Within. They are a band from Scotland, and I saw them supporting August Burns Red for their 20th anniversary tour. Let's see. I mean, I did like the energy of them, but again, I mean, I don't know, they didn't really leave that much of a lasting impression on me, unfortunately, to be completely honest. So I'm just gonna put them in I guess. No hate to them, it's just that the other bands on that bill, I think I liked a little bit more. The next band on this list is, of course, August Burns Red. I have streamed their music since college, not as far back as like high school or anything, but their album Rescue and Restore will always have a special place in my heart. And yes, I was very disappointed when they went on their Rescue and Restore tour and there were no stops near me. I mean, I had to go all the way to friggin' Arkansas just to see them, so it wasn't all that surprising, but it was disappointing. I will cry every single day that I think about not being able to see them perform Rescue and Restore front to back. Like, I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, August Burns Red as a band, excellent performers. Excellent. Just brought the energy. Like the production, the stage production is A1. Like, I really do want to see them again. I very unfortunately will not be able to see them again. I'm pretty sure the Rescue and Restore tour is like almost over anyway, so it's like whatever. I'm not mad. I am a little bit mad, but I'm gonna pretend I'm not mad. But I am. I don't know if they would be a goated must-see, though. I really want to see them again, but would I recommend other people to really want to see them again? That didn't make sense. Would I recommend other people to see them? Yes, I would, but I wouldn't be like, run, don't walk. I think they're great. I really want to see them again, particularly for, Rescue and Restore. That won't be happening, though. So honestly, I'm going to put them in highly enjoyable. And I'm not going to lie, they are a Christian band, and there was no, preaching during the set, but there were a lot of God bless yous and a lot of hand raising, if you've ever been to church, you know what I mean. This band, I'm probably gonna get a little bit of hate for this one, and honestly, I don't really care. I went to see Bad Omens in Memphis. This is last year. Well, yeah, duh, last year. It wasn't this year. It's only February. I went to see them in Memphis last year because Erra and Invent Animate were going to be opening, and they are bands that I consider goated must-see. So yeah, I went to this show just to see the openers. And listen, I get their roots are in metalcore, but they are in metalcore no longer. So I'm not sure if I really enjoyed their music. To be completely honest, I thought their stage presence and everything else they had going on was great, perfect, A1, but I mean, I don't want to disparage them, but they're a tiki-taki band. And you could tell they were a tiki-taki band because to this day, this has been the only like major concert that I've been to, major metal concert that I've been to, where the male to female ratio was severely skewed for the girly pops. Like, the girly pops came out, and I genuinely wasn't expecting that. And I don't think the girly pops were expecting moshing, because I could tell when it was happening during Erra and Event Animate sets, they were legitimately annoyed by that. And honestly, that's so funny. It was funny to witness to me, but I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see them again. Here's the thing. I wanted to see them again because it wasn't gonna be on my birthday. I believe it was gonna be September 3rd last year, or around September last year. Was this last year? Yes, last year, 2023, because they were going to be coming, I believe, either to Memphis again or to New Orleans, and freaking Icy Stars was going to be there. Icy Stars, a band that has been on hiatus for a very long time up until that point. Icy Stars, the band whose new Demon vinyl is on the wall. I wanted to see them, but because Bad Omens is a tiki-taki band, and, you know, I guess whatever Ticketmaster BS was going on, the tickets sold out literally immediately. So I was not able to see Erra again because they were going to be there, and freaking Icy Stars because of the tiki-taki band. Icy Stars is putting out new music. I'm hoping they go on tour at some other time that I can see them, but I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely disappointed by that because of the tiki-taki band. So I did say one tier was reserved for one band, and the Once Was Enough tier was reserved for Bad Omens. Once truly was enough. I got it. I saw them. I saw the girlies go mad over, what's his name, Noah or whatever. Not Noah or whatever. I saw what I needed to see. I heard the OC music, and that was enough. That was truly enough. And you know, they made a point to say this during their set, that they were glad that Erra had come on this tour to support them, because back in their early days, they were touring, supporting Erra. And I thought that was kind of heartwarming, but aside from that, Once was truly enough. Hate to say it. So this next band is definitely, without a doubt, the most unconventional band that's going to be on this list. It is the Jonathan Scales Fourchestra. This one, I had no idea who they were until they literally got on. So the story around this is kind of interesting. Last year, Animals as Leaders went on tour to support, I can't remember who, but they were on tour supporting someone. However, one of their tour dates was going to be a solo show in New Orleans on Juneteenth. And I remember seeing that, and my heart was instantly broken because it was going to be on a Monday and I didn't want to take off work. However, I went on my work calendar and I realized we had Juneteenth off. It was so on. It was so on after that. And I remember getting to the venue the day of the show, and people were saying like, oh yeah, I didn't even know the show was going on until like today or like a couple days ago or something like that. So they definitely didn't really promote this show very much, and we didn't even know, number one, if anyone was opening, and number two, who was opening, until like we got there. I don't really follow bands or anything like that on social media, and I'm pretty sure it was posted on Instagram like that day, but I didn't see it because I don't follow them. So I didn't know until I got there, until, you know, I walked into the venue and I saw a set of like steel drums set up, and I'm like, what is about to go on? And let me tell you, this band was amazing. Like, I was genuinely blown away. The vibes were vibing. Like, they also have a Tiny Desk concert, an NPR Tiny Desk concert, in which there are the four of them. It's called the Fourchestra because there's four of them. But while I was there, it was only the three of them. So it was Jonathan the Scales, a bassist, and a drummer that was at the show. But they also have a banjoist. I don't know if they still have a banjoist. They had a banjoist during the NPR Tiny Desk concert. However, at that show, they did not have their banjoist. I'm not gonna lie. Banjo, kind of a corny instrument, but you also got a dude playing the steel drum, so like you can't be that mad, you know? And honestly, I love seeing them. I feel like that's the kind of band that, I don't know, you gotta go to like a smoky bar, you gotta hear it word of mouth, like, to be able to see them again. And honestly, being able to see them once was like truly amazing. I love seeing them. I'm gonna put them in highly enjoyable only because I don't even know how often you're gonna be able to see them, because I don't know, they just like, they appeared one day and then they disappeared. That's how crazy it was. So this next band I did say that Invent Animate is tied for #1 with Periphery as being, my favorite band probably of all time. And I mean, I still think that, but I don't know how I can explain it. I have loved Animals as Leaders music since college. This is actually it's not even funny or interesting, but I'm gonna describe the story as a funny / interesting story. So back in 2019, I used to watch this Twitch streamer called Kit Boga a lot. And if you don't know who Kit Boga is, he's basically like one of those scam bait streamers. He's like really big now. I think he gets like a lot of viewers on his stream, but back in 2019, he would only get maybe a few thousand viewers per stream. So like the streams are actually enjoyable. Like there was some communication back and forth with the streamer that you can do. I was there. Can I just say, I was there when he first got to 24 hours with a scammer. I was there for Mark. I saw it. Only real Kit Boga heads will understand, but I was there, okay? Anyway, Kit Boga is a metalhead, and I remember one time on stream he mentioned that he really liked Periphery, and I was like, somebody else knows about this band? Oh my god, this is so special. And honestly, that's another one of the reasons why I kept watching Kit Boga streams, because of our shared musical connection. But one day he played Physical Education by Animals as Leaders on stream, and I'm like, oh, this kind of eats? This kind of like what? And so I started listening to Animals as Leaders, starting out with their self-titled album and going on to the rest of their discography, and I have been truly captivated by this band for such not even a long time. I mean, since 2019. I guess it's 2024 now. I guess it has been a while. I don't want to think about it like that. But anyways, I love this band, and to be able to see them live in concert on Juneteenth, that was especially special for me. And I like all of their music. Again, they're one of those bands that have not had a flop. No, I'm not going to be mean. They haven't had a flop era. I like Parisia. It was just a little bit disappointing. Just a teeny weeny bit disappointing. To be able to see them perform that live was, like, aside from seeing The Devil Wears Prada on my birthday, seeing Animals as Leaders on Juneteenth was probably one of the most special experiences I've had as a music enjoyer. So I'm going to put them in not highly enjoyable, goated must see. Run, don't walk if you can see Animals as Leaders live in person. And I'm really, really sad because both Animals as Leaders and Meshuggah, a band that I really like, are on tour in friggin' Europe. Meshuggah should really come to the United States. When was the last time they were here? When was the last time they were in the United States? It's probably not that long ago, but honestly, if I could see Animals as Leaders and Meshuggah in person, I wouldn't even die. I would ascend straight to heaven. Like, that is how much I like, honestly, both of those bands. So Animals as Leaders is another run, don't walk, run, skip, do some cartwheels to that box office and buy you a ticket, because you will not regret it. At all. The videos that I took from that show are the ones that I go back to the most, because I just want to remember that day so much. It was that special to me. Coming up next, we have Dragged Under. I saw them in New Orleans supporting Blessthefall for their Hollow Bodies 10th anniversary tour. I've been on a lot of anniversary tours, I've just now realized. I don't think the Zombie tour was an anniversary tour, but August Burns Red, Hollow Bodies, what else? Was it really just that too? Oh, maybe. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna lie, this was the most recent show that I've seen. I saw them in late August of last year. I think it was like August 25th. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these, I kind of forgot. So, Dragged Under, I'm really trying to remember the impression that they made. Not a lot of impression was made, so I'm gonna put them in I guess. They were fine. Kingdom of Giants, on the other hand, I remember seeing these guys and like really enjoying them, even though, again, for whatever reason, that show, aside from Blessthefall's set, I legitimately barely remember it. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on. By the way, I never do like, substances when I'm at these shows, because number one, I'm usually by myself, and number two, I'm in an unfamiliar place, and number three, I've never done substances before, so all of those combined would probably make for a very bad experience. So that's not why I can't remember. My memory is just bad. That's the only reason that I can give. I remember liking them a lot. However, I'm not gonna lie, I can't really remember much from their set, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put them I'm gonna put them in good, because I do remember liking them a lot. And next up is Caskets. I believe this is a band from the UK, and I remember upon watching them perform, they sort of reminded me of Issues in a way that I can't quite put my finger on, because again, it's been a while, but I remember that thought popping into my head, like, oh, this band reminds me of Issues. And I also remember the lead singer, the lead clean singer from that band, just being like really good, very skilled, like having a really nice voice. I'm also going to put them in good, although my memories of that night are failing me for whatever reason. Next up, well, I guess the last band on this list is Blessthefall. I saw them on their 10th anniversary of Hollow Bodies tour. I'm not gonna lie, listen, I do like Hollow Bodies as an album. My favorite song off that album, guess what it is? It's Hollow Bodies, of course. And of course, the whole room went mad when Hollow Bodies came on. I like Hollow Bodies, the album, but my favorite album by Blessthefall is definitely Witness. And much to my immense delight, at the end of them playing Hollow Bodies, the album in full, they did play 2.0 Into What's Left of Me, and also Hey Baby, here's the song. Hey Baby, here's the song you wanted from Witness. So I was very, very happy and excited about that I at least got those songs from Witness to be able to witness, live. And I really did enjoy them. Would I see them again? I don't know, because the thing is, they released a single like last year, 2022, and I mean, they haven't released any more music after that. Because another thing about this, why am I not remembering this? This show is pretty special for me because, again, Witness is an album that I have liked, and also, Hollow Bodies, parts of that I have liked since high school, and for a while it looked like Blessthefall was gonna break up, like they were no more, but all of a sudden they come back with a new single and a tour supporting Hollow Bodies, and I'm like, this is I have to see them before they actually break up. So I will say this, if you have the opportunity to, I think you should see them before they actually break up, because I mean, they are a band that has been around for a while, and they are well within their right to call it quits after whatever this next album they're going to put out is, because they have been around for just that long, like a while. They're definitely OGs in the scene. So for me personally, they are not a goated must-see, but for the purposes of, I have no idea how much longer they'll be around, I would say go see them, but, let's see, Witness came out in 2009, so we're a little bit far removed from a Witness 10th anniversary tour. I don't know when 15 years would be. I am going to figure it out and put it up on the screen. Probably in the next couple of years, we'll have our 15-year anniversary for Witness.
Wait a damn minute.
So if they do stick around until then, I'm definitely running, not walking, to go see that, because again, Witness is like one of my top albums of all time. Not top 10, maybe top 15. However, there are a lot of albums in that list, so even if they are like at the bottom of the top 15, that's still pretty high for me. I just don't know if I want to put them in goated must-see or highly enjoyable. I don't know. This one's actually tough for me for some reason. I want to put them in goated must-see, but I don't know if they're personally for me a goated must-see, because I've already seen them, and like, would I want to see them again? The answer is yes, but only if it's a tour with like primarily stuff from Witness. I don't know. That's unfortunate that I can't figure this out. I'm gonna put them in goated must-see. I'm gonna follow my gut, and I'm putting them in goated must-see because I thought they were goated, and honestly, as a band, they're goated, and I think it is a must to see them before they are no longer with us. And so this is my tier list for bands that I've seen live. Now, when I was originally making this, I was thinking of putting local bands that I've seen on here, but honestly, I've seen so many local bands that this video would probably be like an hour long, so I thought it would be better to break it up into a tier list of larger bands that I've seen live, and for local bands to do a more, not a tier list necessarily, but just like a review of those bands, talking more about what I liked about them instead of what I guess I didn't like about them. So, and also one of the local bands that I have seen, I'm wearing the shirt. I just recently got the shirt at a show that I was at recently. It's an XL because they ran out of mediums, but, I've been wearing it around the house, and once I eventually do that local band video in like 8 months. I hope it's not 8 months. I hope it's less than 8 months, but you'll be hearing all about the band on my shirt. Or if you want to hear all about local bands, because I talk about them so much, you can listen to my podcast, the Running My Mouth podcast. I put out episodes every other week, and I talk a lot about music. So if you want more music related content and you want to hear me run my mouth about music, my podcast is definitely the way to go to get that in your life. That's going to be it for this video. I've been to a lot of great shows, large and small, requiring travel and here locally, and I'm really looking forward to all the great shows that I will go to in 2024 because I know there will be a lot of them. I will be sharing them with you on my podcast, maybe on my main channel, it kind of depends, but definitely on my podcast. And honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again. 2024, for me personally, is going to be a great year for music, and I am just so looking forward to it. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say, honestly, about that. Follow me on Twitter, read my Medium articles, and listen to my podcast where I talk way, way more about music that I'm listening to and that I'm into and shows that I go to than I do on my main channel. I also talk about music a lot on my Twitter. As I say on my podcast, if you're not following me on Twitter, you're only getting half the story. And I also talk about Drag Race on my podcast. I talk about all kinds of great things on my podcast. You guys really should be listening to it. You're missing out. Listen to it on 2 times speed. Do what you gotta do. That's going to be it for me. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to go listen to some music. How about that?